number 4 here in this GSL CODES Finals, Season 1.
That's right.
Of the new year.
It is going great so far. We've had some amazing games by both players.
Yep.
Genius and DRG. By the way, we have GSL trending worldwide. Guys, continue to tweet about it.
It's not enough.
GSL.
It's not enough. Keep hashtagging it. Keep it going.
Guys, yeah, keep that worldwide trending going. Show the world that, in fact, Justin Bieber's birthday matters to no one but his parents. It's all about the GSL.
That is the greatest joke you have told in GSL history, Artosis.
True joke, too, right?
Game number 4. Does Genius have enough cards up his sleeve? I don't know.
Tasteless, that's why his sleeves are still long. DRG, though, bringing his sleeves up. It's time for a little Zerg elbow grease in game number 4 on Entombed Valley, a map that DRG historically hates.
Yeah, that all-in. Well, I guess it's not really, it's like a timing attack. It's not really an all-in.
The Blink Soccer
He
thing?
could, technically, if he didn't have damage and then it ended there, the game goes on.
We can call it whatever we want, but he mind-tricked DRG in one of the most powerful in slightest ways. If he does that on the ladder, he probably loses, guys.
Yeah, well, because on the ladder, his opponent is probably so stupid that he just doesn't even take into account a fourth gas.
It's still a Grandmaster in Korea, so it's actually like a very smart, great player. But this is the type of stuff that works against like DRG, Nesteen. I'm not even saying Leanock.
Actually, maybe you're right.
Leanock has a different style. It's not brain based. It's pure power based.
Yeah, it's raw strength.
He's just like a rawly skilled nerd god, you know. Whereas DRG and Nesty are unbelievable in their decision making.
All right, game number 4. If DRG loses this, it's going to be hell. If Genius loses this, well, then we just go on to an even score. DRG with some tongue action. Here's DRG with some kick action. Genius with some tongue action.
Normally it's the other way around.
Yeah. All right, so let's go. Zerg versus Protoss, DRG against Genius in the GSL CODES Finals. In the upper left, in the red, we have our player, very tricky, very sly, excuse me. His ID is
MVP Genius.
so many nerds everywhere. Esports is real.
Better believe that.
Believe it. In the bottom red, we have our Zerg player, solid as steel, but so far has been tricked twice. His ID is
MVP
Dongregu, who we refer to as DRG. That's his ID generally is. DRG is short for Dongregu, which is actually the region in Busan that he's from. Busan, in case you are really bad at geography, is the second biggest city in Seoul, a beach city.
All right, so we have a hippo with glasses on. I'm not sure what that was about. Hippos are dangerous.
Hippos are deadly, man.
He's trying to say DRG is the hippo Zerg or something. More dangerous in water than on land.
DRG is actually, he's so deadly that he has to trick people into thinking he has bad eyesight by wearing glasses. He doesn't need those.
Are you kidding me?
No.
He doesn't need anything. He has the overmind, man. It's just a big eye anyways. All right, so blocking some hatchery. Some hatch blocking action going on.
Yeah.
Just very standard in these early moments. It is cross spot, so that's going to make DRG happy. This is not a forced cross spawn map in the GSL, nor I think in any tournament in the world. I think no one has taken the initiative to make Entombed Valley forced cross spawns yet, which I bet you will actually happen next season. But
yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, it's, you know, when they're closer positions, these timing attacks against Zerg can be pretty fearful. But as is, this is going to be a better situation for DRG. Now, this might be a map DRG wants to all in on, if he's going to mix in some all-ins for the series, because historically, man, he does not like this map. He hates it. He vetoes it when he has a veto. He has said multiple times that he does not like this map for Zerg.
You know, the beauty of our finals is how many games we give the players. It's one thing to cheese out one guy, you know, all in this guy, play a standard game against this guy, because you only have to win 2 out of 3 games.
Yeah.
But here, you have to win this marathon. You have to win 4 games.
Yeah.
and on so many different maps as well.
You actually you're giving me a braingasm right now, Tasteless. Think about this, guys, right?
I've been told I'm pretty good.
A best of 5 is always going to seem closer than a best of 7, unless the best of 7 is unbelievably close. Because a best of 7, as Tasteless just said, it gives them so many games to prove their skill. That's why we have so many one-sided GSL finals, as opposed to finals for other tournaments, which sometimes aren't a best of 7. Sometimes they're best of 5 or something, and we're like, wow, that was so close. But guess what? 3-1 is really close in a best of 5. A lot of the times, you're like, oh, wow, he almost took another one of those games. It was almost
if that all
game
in
5.
had worked,
Yeah. But in actuality, one of the players might be twice as good as the other. He just loses a game, right?
Right.
Whereas in a best of 7, if one of the players is way better, it's going to show more.
It's very
a 4-1, even a 4-2, it's like, well, gosh, man, that was not actually all that close. But DRG, he likes to put on close finals for us. It's one of his favorite things to do.
Thank you, DRG.
Okay, so see that third gas time in there. That means that very likely we are going to see a starport.
Stargate.
Yeah, Stargate. And that's a great thing for this map. This map, it's very easy for Protoss to get a third base up because of the ramp on the high ground. So I would not be surprised to see him go for a Stargate. But also, I wouldn't be too surprised to see something very Sentry heavy. Whether he wants to do some sort of crazy push, which I don't really like on this map for Protoss, or a very Sentry heavy fake push into a third, both those would be quite nice here.
Well said, Artosis. I know we say it all the time, but I'm going to say it again because I love esports and I love GSL and I love StarCraft 2. Get on Twitter and hashtag GSL again. I know that, I'm sure there are some social media experts here. Oh, double Stargate. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
I know there are some social media experts probably watching. They probably understand actually why it's so powerful to have GSL trending. I mean, but to the layman, it might be like, why?
Even the people at Twitter like GSL, come on.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Who does?
The people at Twitter watch GSL.
I know. They're actually really cool.
They're probably tweeting about it right now.
Oh my God. They better be. They better be added to this. All right, so we have another double Stargate build. This is interesting. It's not what I was expecting for him to do on this map. You're playing a map that your opponent doesn't like. I feel like taking more risks, sometimes a little bit harder. Now, the Overlord does see all 4 gases, and they finished this time. So he's going to be a little bit more on the ball about what's happening. There's already been a Zealot and a Stalker out on the map, so he might be suspecting something like this.
A little bit of a premature chrono boost, but that's fine. 2 Void Rays on the way.
Oh, no.
No,
Phoenixes.
Excuse me.
Really neat. So he's going to go for a Phoenix build. Will we see the Phoenix range upgrade? I haven't seen it in any games yet in a tournament. I haven't watched every single VOD yet of every tournament, though, so I'll just shut up right now. I've had a hectic week. I haven't caught up yet. But he's not going to show the Phoenixes at 2, probably. Because as soon as you show them, spores start going up everywhere. Maybe a Hydralisk den goes down.
Well, it's the element of surprise. Oh, nice.
Oh,
what? I thought he was surrounded there. Excuse me.
I thought for sure he was going to get that. That Zealot must have had butter on Tasteless. Oh, and an Overlord flew in, so he has shown it.
He's triggered it. The Phoenixes have to move out now. There's element of surprise is gone.
He actually saw 4, and he saw 2 more started, so he knows exactly what's going on here. And a lot of spores on the way. I wonder if we're actually going to see a Hydralisk den. Against 2 Stargate Phoenix, I don't like a Hydralisk den as much. Because as the first Hydras are piling up, you're going to have like 12 Phoenix, and then you can just start lifting them. And as soon as you start lifting a few Hydras, it gets out of control.
Well, the other thing is, Hydras die so fast.
Yeah,
once they're picked up, it's like a queen that actually takes forever to kill.
They're a light unit, so Phoenixes get that extra damage. And oh my God, DRG is not only going Hydras den, but also drops.
Wow.
So it looks to me, Tasteless, this is the old counter. This was happening back as early in the beta in a fleet beaker.
What?
Oh, I'm loving it. We're going to probably see the range upgrade for Phoenixes, but it might also just be a rush up to Mothership.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, well, no matter what, he probably will, if this game goes on for a long time, get a Mothership.
Yes, you want a Mothership as the game goes later. As Hive Tech appears, Mothership becomes the Zerg Spheres.
And it looks like the double extractor is now going up here for our Zerg player.
Yeah, and
I don't think these Phoenixes are going to do much damage. I think he had to surprise him there, and he did not have that opportunity.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly, Jason. Still making them useful, though. Just picking up anything, they become cost efficient over time.
Yeah, the Phoenixes, the more you use them, the more they pay for themselves.
Carriers!
Wait a minute. What? Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, what am I saying? Right down the prediction. Oh, sick. If he wins a game with carriers, in the GSL Codes Finals. After this game is no longer a big dark mystery, but a game that has rules and builds and a metagame and is understood.
Oh, man.
What?
All right, so he's getting all the carrier upgrades. He's getting the +1 attack. Let's not forget, let's talk about how the carrier could be good, okay? It has the highest damage per second output in the entire game. It's something that's going to catch your opponent off guard quite often. You know, he has the Phoenixes, so Zerg literally cannot scout. There's no way for him to know that he's going for that. He's making a ton of cannons with his extra minerals to get that third base. Of course, he's going to need cannons because otherwise he can only build zealots. He needs to spend minerals for defense.
He's got to be careful how many cannons he makes because that's going to be a tell that something's going weird.
Yep.
I can only imagine now David Kim and Dustin Browder watching this right now holding hands.
Yeah.
As we are all about to learn something about StarCraft 2.
They're doing it, man.
They're doing it.
They're high-fiving
It's totally
right
normal.
now.
Yeah, no kidding.
I do want to point out, you know, it's one of the cool things about this is that double Stargate build, okay, with those, we don't see that many Hydras.
But you know what?
There is going to be a drop.
But the drop may foil everything.
Yeah.
In fact, the drop probably will foil everything.
That was bad. Losing those Phoenixes, he needed those to
The purpose of the
defend.
carriers is for the element of surprise. Now, we can't check. We don't have a preview computer at this event. But he needs carriers in his main, and I think if DRG...
He's going to lift up, dropping that third base is for sure gone, I would say.
Well,
This
if he
is gonna be
drops
so
in the main,
difficult.
it's even worse.
Yeah, I think he's going to fly right into some cannons here, and he's showing what's going on, and he's just going to drop behind here. He expects force fields. Here he goes. Beautiful move by DRG, just dropping everything everywhere. Probes going through. Oh, way too many units. Those carriers going to come out, but at this point, he's going to lose so much. All of his sentries have, in fact, gone down. These carriers, it doesn't matter. Even if they clean up everything here, he's going to lose at least one base in all of his buildings.
We'll
down
never
at the
get
front.
to know if the carrier surprise strategy is going to work as DRG dismantled this build just too quickly.
Unbelievably amazing. DRG with that beautiful move, hitting the front with Hydras, dropping onto sentry defense. This is a map where you make a lot of sentries to defend those ramps and get that quick third while teching a lot. This was a perfectly engineered strategy for this map, for this player.
So far, it looks like we're going to go to game, number 5 now, and they're going to be tied. He might actually hold this for a little bit longer, but I don't think that, in my own personal and professional opinion, that you can really hold the game if the carriers have been spotted early on.
At this point, Tasteless, he's already getting his flyer attacks. We do have additional flyer attacks going up for Genius. He is kind of holding, but he's lost all his gateway units. He has no more sentries or anything like that. He's basically relying only on carriers, and DRG at this point making a ton of corruptors. This is a terrible situation. Corruptors, with or without upgrades, can take out carriers without too much hassle.
And going ahead and burrowing those legs there at where the expansion is. So even if he attacks with those carriers, he can't do anything. He'd have
It's
to
pretty
get a
rough.
cannon there and park the carriers over the cannon
And
until the cannon finishes, and then move
he
out.
lost his forge as well, so it was a perfect move there to burrow
good call,
those.
good call.
So he has to remake the forge, make the cannons. The thing is, when he's making the cannons, he has to stand stuff right next to him because those Zerglings are going to pop up and kill the cannons.
Yep.
So third base, nope, no more. Looks like that was Void Rays. No, he's making more carriers. Oh my God, he just continues to make carriers. A lot of corruptors on the way. Can he get to? My theory is there's some number of carriers that they become too powerful
Too much.
for
It's just that
something like
generally
corruptors.
a good player never lets you get that many carriers.
Yeah, you just never get it. People just start attacking you because they're like, well, how could you have it? And he's going to have to build a lot of cannons to sit those over because right now that corruptor number is getting out of hand. A bajillion Zerglings on the way. DRG's on 5 bases. DRG on 5 bases. If you're not about to kill him when he's on 5 bases, guys, he wins. This is DRG.
It's essentially checkmate. It's economic checkmate. All right, that's a lot of corruptors.
That's a lot of corruptors.
It's like watching those squiddy things from the Matrix coming at him. Sentinels, that's right. Oh my God.
Well,
nice carrier control, but does it matter? I don't think so.
no, that is way too many tastes. Doesn't matter how much damage these carriers do.
He may tap out with this move.
Well, as those die, with it dies all his chances to win this game.
I really wonder if Genius loses this entire series. I wonder if he's going to regret this decision in this game.
Without great chances, Tasteless, great things are less bound to happen.
Thank you, hypnosis.
All kings
or
must
dare
die.
I say Shakespeare. GG. We are going on to the next game. It's going to be game number 5. They are tied up right now.
I am many excited. This is DRG exiting his booth. He's like, I want, no. It's a best of 7. You've only won 2.
He's going in there and talking some trash.
Like,
They said, get out, get out. Damn.
Well, I am really sad that we didn't get to see the full breadth of strategy that Genius had there, but it was a great move by DRG. It's unfortunate that he lost a lot of Phoenixes, that he didn't see it coming ahead of time. How could he have changed what happened there? If he had his carriers down in front picking up overlords, maybe that helps a little bit. Everything just kind of, the build by DRG, actually, let's just back up and stop talking about carriers. Just in general on that map, you see a bunch of flying units, it's like, yeah, there's a good chance that there's going to be a Roach Hydra in against that. Okay, when you see any sort of air units on this map, that's oftentimes the way Zerg is going to play. So what DRG did was he showed something that looked like that. That's going to make more cannons and more sentries. And as you force field the ramp, you can hold that off, and suddenly the Zerg player's at a disadvantage. He simply attacked up like that was happening, then dropped on the sentries. The drop upgrade is a perfect counter to a lot of sentries.
I guarantee you, DRG has never seen Genius do that. That was actually so crazy. Carriers, if you're unfamiliar with StarCraft 2 on a competitive level, they're just not used at the high level because they cost too much. You have to get interceptors. If the interceptors die, then you have to remake them. That costs more money.
The AI of the carrier is much different than in StarCraft 1 as well.
That's very true. That's very true. And so essentially, it's one of the very few units in a game as perfect as StarCraft 2 that just isn't used because a good player is going to scout you so well and map it out that he's never going to let you have enough carriers. That was a one-time strategy. Genius will probably never use that again.
We will not see that again in this series, that's for sure.
No, we will definitely not see it again in this series, but he had one specific strategy that there's no way DRG had ever seen, and therefore no way that he could prepare for. And
I like the thought process. That's a good thought process to have.
But let me tell you something. If Genius loses this series, that little carrier strat is going to haunt him.
Especially if he loses it by 1 game.
Yeah.
Because, again, that is the map that DRG doesn't like. But it's a good map for that strategy. It's
very
just
unpredictable.
DRG came up with a great strategy for that map, and specifically for that game.
Yeah, really, really smart play there by Genius. But unfortunately, DRG, like you said, harder to break than Bamboo. Now, what does he have planned this game? DRG, after seeing that game, is probably saying to himself, well, Genius will just do anything to win. He actually just does not care. He wants this so bad.
Tasos, do you know what's harder to break than Bamboo?
DRG?
A small Lego block.
Yes, actually, and DRG is harder to break than a small Lego block.
You could crash an airplane into a small Lego block, and you are not going to break that small Lego block.
That is actually an incredibly
In fact, why don't they build an airplane out of a small Lego block? Well, I guess that wouldn't be big enough for passengers, would
They
it?
can make it out of Legos, but then they just break apart,
That's true, yeah.
But if you made it out of just one Lego block,
it's quite a
you made a big one and you carved it down. Nerds from around the world are going to soon see the results of the DRG versus Genius match.
Guys, get on Twitter. Make sure to hashtag the GSL. Keep talking about this match. Let's keep it trending as long as possible, as many places as possible. Because we are the nerds and we are the best and we rule the internet.
We do. We do actually rule the internet. The nerds. It's so nice when you grow up and you find out actually the nerds do win.
They do win. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
We have the